Dear students, coming to the fourth session of the chapter Stereochemistry, you will learn about resolution. What do you mean by resolution? Then which are the different methods by which we can bring about resolution? Then how can we define or explain the optical activity of compounds containing more than one chiral carbons? For example, compounds containing two chiral carbons. Then differences between enantiomers as well as diastereomers. Coming to resolution, it is a process of separation of racemic modification or racemic mixture into two enantiomers. As you all know, racemic mixture is the equimolar mixture of the dextro and levo form. What is the reverse process? What is the reverse process of conversion of a optically active compound into racemic mixture? That is racemization. It is racemization. So resolution is the opposite process of racemization. Okay. So resolution is a process where a racemic mixture is separated into its constituent enantiomers. Two enantiomers, dextro form and levo form. So the plus minus form or the DL form, which is the racemic mixture, is converted into the either plus and minus. It is separated. Whereas racemization is a process where the individual enantiomer is converted into the racemic mixture. Now, what are the different methods by which we can bring about resolution? There are many different methods. Many methods are there by which we can bring about resolution process. Out of which a few important are discussed here, which is the first one is biochemical separation. In this method, biochemical in the sense biochemical, some bacteria will be involved in that. Certain bacteria are molded when grown in a dilute solution of a racemic modification. It destroys one enantiomer more rapidly than the other. Certain bacteria, when they grow in a dilute solution of a racemic modification, the racemic mixture, it destroys one of the enantiomer completely, more rapidly than the other. For example, penicillium glucum, when grown in a solution of racemic ammonium tartrate, it attacks only the plus form and leaves the minus form. But there is some drawback for this process where only one enantiomer we can retain, whereas the other will be completely destroyed. It is difficult to find a proper organism which may consume one of the enantiomer in preference to the other. And enantiomers cannot be separated. We'll be getting only one of the enantiomer. We cannot separate the plus and minus form. That is the disadvantage of the biochemical process. The other method, which is mechanical separation, can be applied to solid mixtures which consist of two types of well-defined crystals. By this method, Pasteur separated the plus and minus crystals of sodium ammonium tartrate. He crystallized the racemic solution of the plus minus sodium ammonium tartrate below 27 degrees Celsius and separated the two kinds of crystals by hand picking, just by hand picking. Here, in this method, mechanical separation, it can be applied to solid mixtures which consists of two types of well-defined crystals. So that each one will be having different type of crystals, so that we can just hand pick both. By this method, Pasteur separated the racemic sodium ammonium tartrate. He crystallized the sodium ammonium tartrate below 27 degrees Celsius, where both form, plus and minus form, exist in two different well-defined crystals, so that we can easily pick the plus form and the minus form. The third method, which is chemical method, or it is also diastereometric method. In this method, the enantiomers of the racemic modification are converted to diastereomers by treating with optically active substances called resolving agents. Here, in this method, the racemic mixture is converted to diastereomers by treating with an optically active substance called resolving agent. The diastereomers have different physical properties and they are separated by fractional crystallization. You know, enantiomers, because they are having same physical property, it is very difficult to separate them. Whereas diastereomers are having different physical property. So once we convert the enantiomer or the racemic mixture into diastereomers, we can easily separate them by fractional crystallization, as they will be having different physical property. Once the diastereomers are obtained, they can be decomposed with a dilute mineral acid to give an enantiomer and the reagents. The common dissolving agents with what we use for converting the racemic mixture into diastereomers are minus brucine, minus strychnine, or plus or minus tartaric acid, and camphor sulfonic acid. The common dissolving agents are minus brucine, minus strychnine, then plus or minus tartaric acid, and camphor sulfonic acid. As an example, how can we separate the racemic mixture of lactic acid? You know, racemic mixture is a plus minus lactic acid, which we have to convert first into the diastereomer by combining with the resolving agent, that is minus brucine. So when we combine with that, we get plus lactate minus brucine plus minus lactate plus minus brucine. So these two are diastereomers. It has lost its optical activity. This can be separated, but this mixture can be separated by fractional crystallization, as both will be having different physical property. Once we get both compounds separately, you can react that one, or this can be decomposed by mixing with any mineral acid to the corresponding enantiomer and the resolving agent back. So we get, when plus lactate minus brucine is mixed with dilute hydrochloric acid, we get plus lactic acid and brucine, and minus lactic acid and brucine for the other compounds. Now these were the different methods by which we can bring about resolution process. Now coming to the next point, optical activity of tartaric acid. Tartaric acid is a compound which contains 2 chiral carbons. And in the previous sessions, I have explained that if a compound contains more than 1 chiral carbon, the overall isomer, the stereoisomer possible will be 2 raised to n. So here this tartaric acid contains 2 chiral carbons. One is here and the other one is here. So the expected stereoisomer will be 2 raised to n. 2 raised to 2, that is 4. So tartaric acid exists in 4 isomeric form. It is represented here. One way is like this: COOH, OHH, OHH, COOH. Second one can be represented like this, and the third one can be represented as COOH, HOH, OHH, and COOH. And the fourth one can be represented like this. So we can represent tartaric acid in 4 different isomeric form. Now we'll take the structures 3 and 4. Whether these 3 and 4 are mirror images? Yes, they are mirror images. Are they superimposable? They are not superimposable. They are non-superimposable. Now, do they possess any plane of symmetry? It does not have any plane of symmetry. So, these two are enantiomers. These 3 and 4 are enantiomers because they have non-superimposable mirror images. Whereas here, in this 1 and 2, we'll see 1 and 2 are mirror images. Yes, they are mirror images. Are they superimposable? No, they are not superimposable. How about the plane of symmetry in these molecules? They have a plane of symmetry. If you draw a line in the middle, the top is the exact mirror image of the bottom. Exactly the same in the case of second molecule also. So these two are having plane of symmetry. So they are not enantiomers. And also if you observe, you can find out if the structure 1 is rotated through 180 degree, if this carboxyl group rotate and reach at the bottom, we get this compound, the structure 2. It means 1 and 2 are not separate structure. It is a single structure. They are one. So it is not different forms. It is one single form. So we can say tartaric acid, though we can express them in 4 different forms, it has only 3 actual stereoisomer. 1 and 2 are termed as meso compounds. What do you mean by meso compounds? Meso compound is one that is achiral and superimposable on its mirror image, even though it contains 2 or more chirality centers. It is also a chiral diastereomer of a compound containing chirality centers. Here, these 3 and 4 are enantiomers, whereas 1 and 2 are diastereomers, or they are meso compounds. The similar way, we can explain the optical activity of 1,2-dichlorobutane. 1,2-dichlorobutane. So here again, 1 and 2 are enantiomers and 3 and 4 are diastereomers, or they are mesoform. 3 and 4 are mesoform and 1 and 2 are enantiomers. And also, if you find out the configuration of this first and second chiral carbon, you can say in the structure 1, the first carbon will be having R configuration and second will be having S configuration, whereas in 2, first will be having S configuration and in the other one it will be R configuration. This is applicable for 3 and 4. In 3 and 4, one is R and one is S, and in the 4, one is S and the other one is 4. Whereas 1 and 2, both carbons are R and both carbons are S in 2. That is why they are optically active. Whereas in 3 and 4, one is R and the other one is S, and in 4, one is S and the other one is R, so that the optical activity will get cancelled. So they are not optically active. Now, how can we differentiate enantiomer and diastereomer? Enantiomers are non-superimposable mirror images of each other, whereas diastereomers are non-superimposable or not mirror images of each other. They are superimposable also, we can say, or if they are superimposable, they will be having a plane of symmetry. Then enantiomers are having same physical and chemical property, whereas diastereomers are having different physical and chemical property, so that separation of diastereomers are easy. Enantiomers are optically active with opposite sign of specific rotation, whereas diastereomers does not rotate the polarized light. It cannot rotate the polarized light. It does not have any specific rotation. Optical isomerism is referred to as enantiomerism, whereas optical isomerism in the case of diastereomerism, it is referred to as diastereomerism. So in this session, you would have learned about what do you mean by resolution process and how it is different from racemization process. Then what are the different methods by which you can bring about resolution. Then how the optical activity of compounds containing more than 2 chiral carbons can be explained with reference to tartaric acid and 2,3-dichlorobutane, and also differences between enantiomers and diastereomers.